Flood disaster claims over 100 lives in Mokwa local government area of Niger State.
Since I was born, we've never witnessed anything like this before.
Federal government inaugurates special CNG transportation palliative program to reduce transportation costs for students. INEC chairman swears in 6 resident electoral commissioners, announces dates for conduct of Ekiti and Osun State governorship elections.
Do not betray your oath of office.
Hello and welcome to the news desk at 6 on NTN News 24. We are live in Abuja. I am Chinenye Nwoye. More than 110 persons have been confirmed dead after the flood disaster that ravaged some communities in Mokwa local government area of Niger State, arising from the heavy downpour that occurred Wednesday night. Musa Mikhail reports that properties worth millions of naira were also destroyed in the disaster.
The floodwater hit communities in Mokwa local government area, destroying shops, houses and farms, according to the Niger State Emergency Management Agency. More than 100 people have so far been confirmed dead, with many more still missing. District head of Mokwa, Mohamed Shabu Ali, narrating the unfortunate incident, said the last time this occurred was many years ago.
Since I was born, we've never witnessed anything like this before. We just wake up in the morning and we saw flood, which have devastated all my community. We have more than 100 deaths and more than 800 displaced. Houses gone. In fact, we are still looking for corpses from here up till River.
We are calling government for intervention because our people are suffering. We need immediate intervention. If not, we are in mess in Mokwa for now.
As at the time of filing this report, hundreds of residents are still yet to be accounted for, even as government agencies are helping the search and rescue operation. Musa Mikhail, NTN News.
President Bola Tinubu has directed all relevant emergency and security agencies to intensify ongoing search and rescue operations in Mokwa, Niger State, where a devastating flood occurred that claimed the lives of several persons. The incident has also led to the submergence of numerous homes and the displacement of hundreds of families. A statement by the Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, says the immediate priority of the federal government is to save lives and provide urgent relief to survivors. The National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, in collaboration with the Nigerian Armed Forces and the Niger State government, is working to ensure that no effort is spared in bringing help to those in need. The federal government commends the courage and dedication of first responders and volunteers who are risking their lives in the ongoing rescue efforts and urged residents in the affected areas to cooperate with emergency officials and adhere to all evacuation directives that are issued. The federal government equity extends its heartfelt condolences to the families of the victims. Ministers of State Petroleum Resources, Gas, and his counterpart from the Ministry of Education, Olatunji Alausa, at the inauguration of Compressed Natural Gas Special Palliative Relief of University Transportation, Sprout, reiterated that Project CNG Sprout is a direct, thoughtful, and timely response to reduce costs of transportation for students by President Bola Tinubu. Lydia Sampson reports.
Project CNG Sprout is a pioneering initiative aimed at transforming campus transport to sustainable energy. It is also focusing on providing conversion kits and technical facilitators. The collaborative project between federal government agencies and the private sector is planting the seed of capacity building through hands-on training. As a result, students will not just ride in CNG vehicles, they will learn how to convert and maintain them.
Through the Presidential CNG initiative, we are not only mitigating the impact of recent subsidy reforms, but also laying the foundation for modern gas-driven transport economy.
Energizing education program where almost every single university will have 24 hours uninterrupted electricity. That is really a big deal. Big deal to the quality of students. The students, you're creating a better environment for the students to learn.
The federal government approved Project CNG Sprout to roll out across 20 Nigerian universities, with the University of Abuja as one of the key beneficiaries.
The midstream and downstream gas infrastructure fund shall continue to prudently invest in economically valuable and viable projects that seek to increase the domestic consumption of natural gas in Nigeria, encourage investment in other midstream and downstream gas infrastructure.
Through hands-on training, students will not just ride on CNG vehicles, they will learn how to convert and to maintain them. This is a critical step in building a green-skilled workforce for Nigeria's energy transition.
Having a leader that is sensitive to the new things happening, and I see transformation in our country.
Already, compressed natural gas-powered buses and tricycles were presented to the university, backing a cleaner, more affordable and sustainable transport that not only reduces carbon footprint, but also eases the burden on students and staff alike. In Abuja, Lydia Sampson, NTA News.
The World Bank, through its intervention efforts to preserve and conserve the environment, has recovered more than 5,000 hectares of degraded land in Nasarawa State. This is coming as the state received more tractors and farm implements to boost agricultural production. Aliyu Tijani reports.
25 tractors and farm implements donated to Nasarawa State government through Agrisal intervention are to be distributed to 13 local government areas of the state. The intervention is expected to empower communities towards achieving productive agricultural sector.
We are one of the local government that have first collected this program. We received about 36 million by each community as of last year. By now, we have started remitting the money because it's a revolving fund. In fact, before, you see a community man eating once in a day, twice in a day, but now we're eating thrice and even give it to our neighbor.
World Bank country lead for Agrisal, Nigeria, commends the state government for supporting the implementation of the project in the state.
We can attest that when it comes to sustainability and sustainability plan, that Nasarawa State is in the lead. Congratulations to the state, and this is only possible, based on the support we are getting from His Excellency.
Governor Abdullahi Sule reiterates the commitment of the state government to ensure sustainability of Agrisal interventions, among others.
But this is the first time we are sharing tractors with a lot of implements, because nearly all the implements you need are coming as part of that tractor and they are inside the trailer. But in addition to that, we are also having some of the inputs that are coming to go directly to the farm. So a true farmer doesn't need anything else, really.
He announced plan to construct road that will link Awe and Guma local government area in Benue State. Stakeholders say the intervention by Agrisal is expected to contribute a driven food security program of the federal government. In Lafia, Aliyu Tijani, NTA News.
Nigeria's 26 years of democracy has been described as a journey marked by resilience and progress, despite challenges like corruption and insecurity. To enshrine democratic principles that resist dictatorship and corruption, guests on NTA's program Good Morning Nigeria seeks strengthening of independent institutions. Lydia Sampson reports.
Yes, and Good Morning Nigeria believes the judiciary, media and electoral bodies must promote transparency and accountability and invest in education to empower citizens.
And we continue to work on them, to strengthen them, to make them to deliver. The goal of democracy is good governance, as I told you earlier. But are we there yet? Can we say in good conscience, like Section 14, subsection 2B of the Constitution says, that security and welfare of citizens shall be the primary purpose of government?
Allow for freedom. That freedom will bring out the innate qualities of the people who live in this space. Let me tell you, when the military were here, you didn't have the expression of Nollywood the way you have it today. Thinking was stultified because of the oppressive nature of that system.
Deep democratization, fostering justice and fairness through improved laws and enforcement, they insist, is key to empowering political opposition to play a crucial role of checks and balances, making sure leaders lead by example, while citizens also play their part honestly.
Very few that will always stand to be counted. And once you stand to be counted, you must realize that you are occupying a very critical position. As long as the Nigerian political establishment and the leadership continues to behave in the manner that it is behaving, it is not likely we are not going to have any change.
They insist that upholding these values will safeguard Nigeria's.
The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has announced dates for the conduct of Ekiti and Osun State's governorship elections next year. INEC Chairman Professor Mahmood Yakubu made the announcement while swearing in 6 resident electoral commissioners at the INEC headquarters.
Electoral Commissioners list. And for the Commission's Secretary, Mrs. Rose Orarin Anthony, a big win for women. Obviously not jealous, men also identifying with their 5 male resident electoral commissioners. Pleasantries over, oath taken, documents sealed, time for charge.
You must always act in good conscience. Do not betray your oath of office. And you must never, never ever be impervious to genuine criticisms.
We are committed to upholding the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the Electoral Act, under all circumstances.
On deployment, Dr. Saad Idris, Gombe State, Dr. Johnson Alalibo Sinikem, Cross River State, Fiyejimi Ebiemi, Ogun State, Mukhtar Umar, Taraba State, Chukwuemeka Ebeziako, Abia, and Umar Garba, Sokoto State. Swearing in concluded. Schedule of governorship elections in Ekiti and Osun States next.
For Ekiti State, the election will be held on Saturday. The election will be held on Saturday, 8th August 2026.
Preparations for 17 by-elections and continuous voter registration exercise are on, and dates will soon be announced, Professor Mahmood Yakubu assures. Mie Ogede, NT News.
This is the news desk at 6 on NTN News 24. We'll take a break here. There will be more reports when we return. Do stay.
Television College Jaws, you will dive into exhilarating hands that will fuel your passion in education and propel your career to new heights. We don't just teach, we craft the next generation of media leaders. Explore our diverse offering, understanding the personnel matters and issues in the public service basic development communication, financial reporting under IPSAS and interpretation of public sector accounting standard IPSAS, audit, internal check and control management, video camera maintenance, new technologies, optics, fiber, IP technologies, automation, storage management, and wireless technology. Challenges and opportunities in the secretarial profession in the digital age. Digital marketing, basic drama, online reporting, understanding the provisions of the revised public service, audio engineering operations and maintenance, camera operations, intermediate drama. Mark your calendar. The second quarter of 2025 is your launch pad. This is your moment to seize the future. Announcer Management.
This is NTA News 24.
Many thanks for staying on. The National Rescue Movement has welcomed more members into its fold and presented forms to aspiring candidates at the upcoming Abuja Council election. National Chairman of the party, Prince Chinedu Obi, says the party's internal democracy and its citizens' orientation policies are attracting more people into the party. Joseph Otsen reports.
The Federal Capital Territory Area Council elections
are drawing closer and closer. And the National Rescue Movement is not relenting on its quest to cover more grounds across the country. Last month, the party ratified its leadership positions from the national to the state and local government councils. And out here, it is welcoming more members and those who have expressed interest to contest the Abuja Council elections coming up in February as announced by the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC.
So our new language in NRM is that we believe we can rescue Nigeria. Because if you don't believe you can do it, you cannot do it. And our electoral system in Nigeria is gradually evolving. If you look at the last election, in FCT particularly, and this is the microcosm of Nigeria. If you want to know how Nigerians think, it's in the FCT that you know it. NRM is now at the forefront to ask Nigerians to join us to replicate what we did in the FCT in the last election across Nigeria.
Samson Hussaini is presented with nomination and expression of interest forms to contest the chairmanship seat for AMAC. And same for Francis Akogu Michael, vying for Buhari chairmanship seat.